Hello, hello. Okay. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for clicking on this video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jen Lockhart Grant, and I am I guess you could call me the co-founder of the company Evolution. It's a coaching company that I run with my husband, where we help men and women create the relationships and the life of their dreams. That is what we do. And today I'm here to speak some truth into you and maybe help you to see some things differently when it comes to your relationship and why your man might be withdrawn. Okay. Because this is something that happens, I would say, to majority of people, majority of relationships. And it's pretty sad. It's why so many people feel more like roommates instead of lovers inside their relationships. And I'm going to share with you exactly what's happening, what happened, and how you can shift it. Okay. So the truth is if your man is withdrawn, checked out, or if you feel like you guys are roommates instead of partners, there is a reason, and the reason didn't happen overnight. Okay. When I was dating, majority of the guys that I was going out with, like they were divorced. And when they were telling me like what happened, why it ended, it was like exactly this. Okay. And what's really cool though is once you understand where the problems are coming from and how each of you are creating this, it makes it easier to shift it. So this is why talk therapy can be really fun. Going to counseling can be super fun, but it's a long, drawn out process. Whereas what we do is we get right to the root and teach you guys how to move forward faster. Okay. All right. So what's really cool though is understanding that most of us, the men will withdraw, but what happens is us women, we don't realize that we are unknowingly creating the mess. Okay. And it's not about blame. This is about accountability and having the power to actually change it. Okay. So what happens is we are in the honeymoon phases, right? Honeymoon phase, everything's great. You're happy, he's leading, you're feeling safe, seen, understood, loved, everything is so good. And then all of a sudden there's this thing that people say where the honeymoon phase ends. And this happens to majority of people. It happened to me in my first relationship, which is why ultimately we ended up divorced, right? Where I decided that in, my next relationship, which I am remarried, that we are not going to recreate the same mess. So I went into a deep dive to find out where it went wrong and how to not let it happen again. And so I talk a lot about polarity, which is opposites, opposites attract. And the thing is men, they are, they're leaders, protectors, providers. And in the beginning of your relationship, when you guys first met, that is what your man was doing. He was leading you guys. He was, protecting you. He was providing for you, maybe not always financially, but sometimes just with his wisdom, right? He was doing these things, which is what attracted you to him, right? And he was attracted to you because you were receiving his leadership, his protection, and his provision, and it felt really good, right? And so you guys were attracted to each other. You were, decided to keep it going. You got married and you had babies, right? And everything was great. And then all of a sudden though, something switched. There was a flip inside the relationship and he became withdrawn. And now you feel alone, resentful, like you're doing it all. And if you are like me, you probably wish that he would just step up again. That was me. I used to cry at night alone, wishing my husband would step up for me. And what happened was is what happens is you guys are in the relationship, everything's going great. Well, what happens is us women, this is how we create the mess. Us women, we begin to helpfully start criticizing things and overtly trying to control our men. Okay. Now, keep listening. Hear me out. So what we do is we often start to take over the little things, right? Not because our men can't do it, because we start to have these ideas or these beliefs that we can do things better, right? So just, for example, um, which is one of the things I used to, do is just silly example, but like my husband would load the dishwasher and then I would come in and I would reload the dishwasher. Not because he didn't know how to load a dishwasher, but because I knew I could, because it was like it was wrong. It wasn't the right way. I could do it better. So I would just go ahead and fix it or just do it, right? And it's these little things that we begin to do and the way we say things that kills the polarity in the relationship. So I always say that intimate relationships don't die because of lack of love. Like you love your husband and your husband loves you, but your relationship is dead. He is withdrawn and you feel unsupported and alone because there's no polarity anymore. Because you have taken over, which is why he withdrew. So now not only do you feel alone and unsupported, but he feels disempowered as a man and he doesn't know what to do. So he withdrew. And I'm also saying that like you have the power to flip this. Like it's not all on us, right? Like he could, if he knew better, he would do better, but he doesn't know better. So he just does what most men do, which is withdraw. Like most men do this because they've never been trained otherwise. Okay. So he doesn't know what he doesn't know. So we can't like put it all on us, but we can see where we go wrong. That way we can start to shift because it only takes one person in the relationship to shift this dynamic, which is why sometimes in our coaching group evolution, we work with like either sometimes just the woman, or sometimes we work with just the men, or sometimes we get really lucky and get them both, right? And they're both on board and they're both ready to start shifting. But it only takes one person to start creating the shift to bring the polarity back into the relationship. Okay, so as it's shifting, like other things that we do, like us women can do, and like I'm saying, you unconsciously are doing this stuff and you don't even realize, but our little criticisms slowly and quietly chip away at their confidence and like their manhood. Okay. And it can also be as simple as like, saying, hey, hun, will you go get the kids dressed? Right? He goes, gets the kids dressed for the day, and the kids come upstairs dressed in mismatching clothes. And then, why did you put that on them? Why are they dressed like that? Like, that doesn't even match. Like, what are you doing? And we start to, even just criticize anything, those little things. Um, and then it's like, you know what? I'll just do it. And then the guys are like, fine, you just do it. And the next thing you know, you are the woman in the relationship that is literally now you're doing everything because over time, like I said, this happens over time where it's like they will slowly and pull away from doing anything if we are constantly critical and criticizing the things that we're doing. Not even just, and it's small corrections too. It's, maybe big things, small things. Why are you driving like that? Or why do you spend money on that? Or, well, why did you do this like this? And then what happens is, they don't, because I said they don't know what they don't know, what they do is they say, fine, you do it. And they think that's what you want. They want to make you happy, so they let you do everything because clearly we know best. And then they withdraw because it's like they don't know what to do. They don't know how to win, so they're just like, "Fine, you do it." And then they'll say like, "Oh, make the wife happy. I'll just stay out of her way." Well, I will tell you that staying out of her way and him staying out of your way to make you quote unquote happy is exactly why you feel alone and unsupported, and you start to resent him. And because he's never been trained on how to, um, lead you to not do these things, um, he just withdraws because he doesn't know any better, right? So you have to kind of learn, like the men in our group, the men that we work with, they become the leaders of their family again, and they create a space where their wife can feel safe enough to let go control, where the women in our group work on letting go and seeing their man again as the leader that he was meant to be. So we can get the polarity back, which recreates the passion again. Like I said, the intimate relationships don't die because of lack of love. Because I will tell you, my first husband, like, even though I was angry, resentful, felt alone, and wish he stepped up, it didn't mean I didn't love him or have love for him. It meant that, like, neither of us were attracted to each other anymore because he was withdrawn and I became, I stepped right into, I was in my masculine energy controlling everything, and which caused me to lose respect for him. So that's exactly what happens too, is that as they withdraw, we begin to lose respect. And the longer it continues, like the worse it gets. And people who are in this kind of like survival mode, or this like, where he's given up and you have taken over and now you are exhausted all the time. Um, we do things out of character when we start to create this dynamic, but it doesn't mean that y'all are anybody's like bad or anything like that. Like, this is literally just what happens if you are not aware of this, so you can make sure it doesn't happen. Right? Because I know now, I'm remarried now, and it's like we're going on we'll be married 3 years here pretty soon, and it's like we're still in a honeymoon phase, and like my goal, his goal, like, it's to never let it die, like to keep the polarity alive. And it's like, this is what needs to happen. This is why your man is withdrawn, because there is no more polarity. So, what's really great though is like accountability is what creates the freedom. Like, if I created this mess, I can also fix this mess, right? Withdrawal is just survival mode for men because they don't know better. Your man does not know better. And when they don't feel respected, they stop trying, not because they don't care, but because they think that's what we want. Okay, so your man does not, it's not that he doesn't care, it's that he thinks this is what you want, but really you don't want this, right? But neither of you guys know what to do. And so you think you should do what other people tell you to do, or what other people in passionless roommate relationships do, is let's go to counseling, let's go to therapy, let's talk about our problems, let's talk about your problems, my problems, all this stuff. And it's like, we don't need to sit and talk for hours. All we need to do is get this back. Okay? How can I look at my man through a lens of love again and respect? How can I trust him? How can I let go? Right? These are all things that I had to learn to do, so I would stop my pattern, my control patterns of trying to be the one in control all the time. If your man doesn't feel like a man, he he will, it's just really actually really sad, but that's why he's withdrawn. And until he, essentially gets his manhood back, um like nothing's going to change. But what I learned is in order for him to step up, I had to learn how to step down. And so, like I said, this is the work we do inside the group, which it it's healing. It's healing in a way where it's like, because our need to control comes from fear and in a wounded places, um, it's about letting it go and also knowing the skills, because it takes like an amount of strength to not criticize when the dishwasher's not done, quote unquote, right. Right? But also knowing that if you continue to do so, you're going to destroy your marriage because your man will pull further and further away with every single criticism. So really leaning into like trust and allowing, and just trusting, like the dishwasher is gonna be fine. I don't have to worry about it. And really seeing your man as capable again. That's how, which, when this happens, when you can let go and relax back into your feminine, how you were in the beginning, that's how you get the polarity back and the passion back. Um, and like I said, this is why, um, you know, everybody thinks, oh, we'll just wait till the kids get older and then we'll get divorced or whatever. Or they think, let's go try therapy, or let's go try counseling. And a lot of times from the stories I've heard is that only makes things worse, because a lot of times the therapist or counselor that you're working with, their relationship isn't incredible. And it's like, why are you taking relationship advice from someone who doesn't have the relationship that you want, or at least isn't actively pursuing it, right? Um, and so, I think any type of counseling or therapy is great. But at the same time, it's like, if you really want to shift things inside your relationship, like, um, coaching is way more fun. And being coached is way more fun. Um, because it's not, let's just say again, counseling and therapy, when you're inside those environments, it's kind of like he said, she said. Where in the coaching environment, it's more like, where did I mess up and how can I create something new? It's like real personal accountability, which is why we only need one participant in the couple to step in to start creating the shifts, because when one person takes full accountability for what they've created, it's like you invite the other one to rise with you as you heal. So it can be either like the woman can step in or the man could step in, or like I said, if both step in, that's even better, because it's like two people who take accountability for the mess they created, where then they can come in and learn the skills on not allowing it to continue, and what to do to kind of fix the mess. So we can get it back. Two people is better than, one, but it only takes one. And even I got divorced from my first husband for other reasons, but this dynamic that I'm sharing with you now was probably, it was the reason why I laid in bed crying at night. It was the reason why I was so exhausted all the time. It was the reason why my husband was withdrawn and putting his energy into sports, drinking, his family over on the other side, his friends. It's why I felt alone and would lay in bed at night and just pray my husband would step up. And I didn't realize that I had more control in creating the mess than I realized until after we got divorced. And I was like, oh my God. I created this. Like, I did this. Like, could he have been better? Could he have said, kind of like put me in my place a little bit and said, no, like, trust me, provided an environment for me where I could feel, safe enough to stay in my feminine? Sure, he could. But could I have been less critical? Could I have been less judgy? Yeah, I definitely could have. So, for me, it was like I had to learn to let go of control. I had to learn how to not only see my new husband through a lens of love, but I also had to learn how to see my ex-husband this through this lens now, because now when we may not be together anymore, but we have a kid together. So it's like, how do I create an incredible co-parenting relationship with him? Well, one of the things I had to really do was, even start seeing him as a capable and, not trying to control everything that's going on over there, right? And really leaning into like trust. And it's not easy to do. Like, it's not easy to do, which is why you need a coach or somebody to help you learn this stuff. So you can create what you want, because once you realize like you are a creator, it can be you really fun, because it's like, okay, what do I want? I want an incredible co-parenting relationship with my ex-husband. Okay, what needs to happen in order for me to do that? Well, not only do I need to, we need to get the polarity back there as well, not to create a passionate relationship, but to create a dynamic where we both feel good. Because because resetting the polarity doesn't just heal your relationship, it heals you as like a person. Because when you are a woman that's tired, burnt out, feels so alone, full of, maybe anxiety, depression, constant trying to, constant controlling all these things. When you step back and reset, you literally find yourself again. This is what it feels like to find yourself again. Most people don't start doing this work until after the divorce. Most people will continue on, settle in the relationship, wait till the kids are old enough. They'll be in a sexless, passionless marriage, wait till the kids are old enough, then they'll divorce. Then the man becomes a man again. The woman quote unquote heals, starts doing more self-care, becomes free again, and then, finds a new guy that she feels the attraction with. She will lean into him, so she'll do some of the healing work. But if you don't know what you don't know, you will recreate the same pattern with the next one. Um, and for me, it was like, I don't want to recreate. Like, I don't want to recreate. And I want to create, but I want to create a relationship where the honeymoon period never ends, where, a relationship that people want and something that's like not normal. And so making sure that we stay in polarity is like the most important thing. So not only is this the key to an incredible relationship, this is the key to fixing the one that you're in, so it doesn't so you don't end up divorced. You don't want it to die. So just like noticing, where are you criticizing? Where are you controlling? Where are you closing off? Right? Where have you not given your man the space to do the things? right? Because if we women don't give them the space to step up and take some control or do the things, they won't because they think they're doing the good thing by getting out of our way. But getting out of our way is not what you want. You do not want your man to get out of your way because when he does, it forces you right into your masculine energy. You want him to be the one to make decisions, do the things, but it requires you letting go. And that's the work. You have to get back into polarity if you want the type of relationship that you crave. You don't need to go to therapy for years. You don't need to go to counseling for years. You need to step into our group, either you or your husband or both of you, and you need to let me and Mac coach you guys and help you see, and to also help you get back on track when things wobble because things will wobble because we're human. And if we don't have wobbles, then there is no growth. So there will be wobbles. You need the support. And it can be easy and it can actually be really fun. The couples in our group are having fun healing together and finding themselves again in the process. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm excited to share this for free right here on my page. And if this speaks to you, if you're like, oh my God, I need to know more, like, or oh my God, like, yes, I need to know, Jen, tell me more. Send me a message and let's see if you stepping into evolution is right, or maybe your husband or both of you. You know, I would be more than happy if you showed him this video. Because you guys deserve to be happy. You both of you, not just for you, but like for your kids, so your kids can see it too, right? Um, because I've been in a relationship where the polarity died, which is why, like I said, it ended. And it doesn't have to be this way. Like you can create something magical where everybody around you is like, tell me what you're doing. This is it. This is it right here. So send me a message. I love you guys. I hope you're having a beautiful day. And I cannot wait to talk to you. Okay.